What is up? My name is Casey Budge, and this is Western Sounds. And today I have an awesome guest coming on. You want to introduce yourself, buddy?
Yeah, man. How's it going? Tyler Ketchum. Got a band, Tyler and the Train Robbers, and I think that's what we're going to be talking about here today.
Yeah, it is. So tell me a little bit about Tyler and the Train Robbers, how it got started, kind of your origin story.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm originally from Oregon, a little town called Helix. It's outside like Pendleton, Oregon. And I grew up playing music with my brothers, my younger brothers, and I moved to Idaho and kind of started putting my own band together in around 2000, probably 12 or 13. And eventually, my brothers graduated high school and moved to Idaho with me and kind of continued where we left off. So now I've got, two brothers in my band. And then when I first moved to Idaho, I met my father-in-law, Johnny, and he's our guitar player. We started off when we were younger, just playing, small gigs around our hometown. Eventually, I graduated high school and I worked in town for a while and then eventually moved to Boise, kind of looking for better gigs and stuff. And then, like I said, every couple of years, we're about 5 years apart, me and my brothers. And so every few years, one of them would graduate and join the band. And I kind of just had hired hands there for a while until they eventually joined the band. And then we've just been traveling and playing ever since. But yeah, that's kind of how we started. Started when we were young, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So you guys write a lot of your own music that you play. And
Mm-hmm.
So what's one of your favorite songs and one of your favorite songwriting moments?
Oh, well, we've got this, so the whole, the name of the band, Tyler and the Train Robbers, comes from, I'm related to this train robber from the 1800s. His name's Blackjack Ketchum. And so that's kind of where the name comes from. And so I knew eventually I would, need to write or want to write a song that kind of told that story.
Naturally.
So there was some sort of cool background to the band name, and it wasn't just, another clever name or whatever. So I didn't quite get it done on the first album. We had a lot of good songs on the first one, but I didn't get that Train Robber song written. I just, had it in the back of my mind. And on our second album is, when I finally was able to tell the story, and I kind of, I just really didn't know how to write it, and until I was downtown Boise watching this other band, some friends of mine, and they played this original song about being in the first person and being like an outlaw and getting hung at the end, and that was like the big ending. And that's kind of how my relative Blackjack Ketchum, that's how he ended up dying, was he was hung for robbing trains and stuff. And so I kind of got the idea there, and I was like, oh, I'll write it in the first person since he's a relative. That seems kind of cool, and I did a lot of research on the stories about him, and got a lot of the details, and kind of came up with what the story was, and kind of told it in the first person like I was the character. And then so it's all pretty much historical. That's one of the only songs I've ever written where I was like looking up facts and trying to like, the story was written, but I had to piece it together in the right way. And that ended up being kind of the title track of our second album. It's called The Ballad of Blackjack Ketchum. And the title track is Best the Worst Kind, which is a line from that song. So that's probably one of the coolest ones I've worked on. And I guess most recently, I've kind of been getting known as putting a long song on each album. That one's about 6 minutes long, the Train Robber song. And then on the newest album, I have a song called Non-Typical Find, which is the title track of the new one. And it's a story about a buddy of mine that he was horn hunting in Oregon, excuse me, and came across these human remains. And so he, turned him in and had to, show the cops where the body was and all that. And it turned out that there had been like another body a few years earlier found, up the river, not too far away. And so we kind of got to bullshit one night and talking about what the story could have been. And the body that they had found previous was a car wreck on the freeway, and they had stumbled into the woods. And so there's a whole backstory on it. And we just got to talking about, how those people could have been connected. And I ended up writing the song Non-Typical Find, which is kind of the whole backstory on that. And most of it's, from fact, and some of it is, just had to be made up, but
embellished a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like working on the story songs where, you can't really finish them or you can't, a lot of times you can't sum up what you're trying to say in 3 minutes or whatever, that you just have to keep writing until the story's over. And I've liked to do that, at least for one song and album.
Yeah. I really enjoy your guys' music. I saw you guys play at the Wirt. It was last week. Yeah,
man, right on. Cool.
Yeah, that was super fun.
That was a fun gig. That's always a fun place to play. We've done that one a few times, and Jackson Hole's always a fun place to visit.
It's always a fun place to visit, never a fun place to be.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's a lot of places like that.
Oh yeah. So,
yeah, man.
What is one of your guys' biggest influences as far as songwriting goes?
Well, I write most of the lyrics to the songs, and then I come to the band with the song, and then we kind of build it from there. But I think as far as the lyrical side of it for me, like as far as like someone that I listen to, like as an influence.
Yes.
Well, I really like James McMurtry I'm a big fan of his stuff as far as like people that are doing it right now. Him and Todd Snyder and the older guys, I guess, would be John Prine and Guy Clark and Blaze Foley and a lot of people I'm probably not mentioning, but that just like the kind of the songwriters that were behind the scenes a little more, and they're writing songs for the pop singers and stuff.
Yeah.
But also had awesome albums of their own that maybe didn't make it in their day, but now are being more appreciated these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd way rather listen to someone who is way dedicated to their craft and way more truly, I don't know, talented and inspired than someone who got a lot of fame just because they had something that was generally appealing.
For sure, man. Doing it for the right reasons. And as far as the band goes, my brothers, we all listen to kind of different music. We all love the same music, but in a different way, kind of. My brother Jason, he's a big 70s rock era. That's kind of that seems to be his niche. And then mine's more kind of the songwriting, Townes Van Zandt and slow, fall asleep while you're driving music. And then Tommy is kind of in between that. He likes Foo Fighters and kind of that side of things, so it kind of brings a lot of cool stuff into ours. And then Johnny is he's kind of like me. He likes the songwriters and the older stuff like that, but also grew up, he's older than us, and he grew up when Led Zeppelin was coming out and all that, like all of that type of thing. So like he has all that kind of background and Beatles and all that stuff. So and then our new guy writer, same thing. He kind of likes some of the more soulful stuff. So it's kind of a cool mix of like different types of music that we all like, but it comes together in a cool way.
Yeah, that blend of music always makes super interesting songs and songwriting experience, and it all compounds together and makes it more layered and more interesting. So I always really appreciate music. What genre would you label yourself as?
Oh, I hate that question.
I know.
No, I'm kidding, man. Well, I usually tell people, it's kind of like an Americana thing, or roots country mixed with, with rock, I guess. I mean, there's a little bit of everything in there. So Americana, I guess it kind of falls under, which is okay with me. At this point, it seems like, everything's been done and figured out separately, and now we're just creating all these like different versions of all of that, these hybrids of music or of styles. And so probably like roots country rock kind of thing, but there's kind of folk with the songwriting part of it in there too, so kind of hard to say, but Americana.
That's awesome. Where are you guys playing out this week?
We are on tour with our buddy Jeff Crosby, and we just got home from Montana. We did a little run with him there, and then we're headed to Bend on Wednesday, the Domino Room, and then Portland, Seattle, and then a couple of other Washington dates before we swing back home. And we've been dealing with van trouble, so we've been borrowing vehicles and trying to get it fixed while we're on the road and doing that whole thing. So
yeah, I saw that on your Instagram the other day.
Oh my God.
About your van trouble.
It's been a scramble for sure, man. But yeah, we'll be headed to Bend on Wednesday.
Heck yeah, man. And are you guys working on any new music right now, or anything that you can share?
Yeah, man. I am. Yeah, we're working. We got a handful of songs that we've been rehearsing and kind of playing during sound checks and stuff like that. Kind of working with some stuff. There's a couple that seem finished, and I've just about got another album, but we're still in the middle of making plans with who we want to do it with and where we want to record it and what it's going to cost.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it's in the music is in the making. Yeah.
Good, man. Well, I love to hear it.
Yeah, man. For sure. I can't wait to get it out. We've been playing some of them live, but we'll get something going as soon as we can.
All right. Well, hey, if you want to shout out your social media quick so people can find you. Yeah.
TylerandTheTrainRobbers.com or Tyler and the Train Robbers Facebook and Instagram. And we have a TikTok now. Check that out. My little brother Tom,
I will have to go check that out.
I don't know a whole lot about it. I need to get more involved, but he's been putting some stuff up there. So check that out. And then we're on Spotify and all the streaming, stuff. Come get an out if you're into getting a hard copy. Come get a hard copy at the merch table or our website, and then stream us when you're in the car. That's the best way to do it, I think.
Awesome, buddy. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah, man. Thanks.
I'm going to end the recording now. Yeah.
Cool.